Right now, 8 Australian capital cities are staring down completely different weather tonight, and one of them is about to get absolutely hammered. If you are in Darwin, you need to hear this before you do anything else tonight. But it is not just Darwin. Sydney has been the wettest spot on the entire east coast today. Melbourne is running 4 degrees below its summer average, and Canberra is about to drop 15 degrees in just 3 hours. 15 degrees. That is not a typo. Stay with me because in the next 60 seconds, I am going to reveal which city has the best weather in the entire country tonight. And honestly, it is not the one you think. And if you stick around to the 5-minute mark, I am going to give you the exact hour-by-hour breakdown for every single capital city. So you know precisely when the rain starts, when it peaks, and when it clears. That is the kind of detail you will not get anywhere else. But first, drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from. Your city, your town, your suburb. I read every single comment and I will reply with a personalised forecast just for your area. Let us get into it. Sydney, the biggest city in the country, is getting drizzled on and it is not stopping anytime soon. The chance of rain tonight is sitting at 50%. That is a coin toss every single time you walk out your front door. This drizzle has been hanging around since this morning, so the roads are already slick and the footpaths already wet. The temperature peaked at 27 to 28 degrees today, comfortable for a Sydney summer. Tonight, expect the mercury to slide to 19 to 20 degrees. Light winds from the south and southeast are pushing moisture straight off the Tasman Sea. That onshore flow is the engine behind all this drizzle. Here is something most people do not realise. February is one of Sydney's wettest months. The city averages between 86 and 142 millimetres of rain across 12 to 23 rain days this month alone. So this drizzle is not unusual. It is textbook February weather for Sydney. But do not panic. We are not talking about heavy downpours here. No flash flooding, no major traffic disruptions. Just enough rain to make you wish you had grabbed that umbrella on the way out. Sea surface temperatures off Sydney are sitting at about 23 degrees, which is absolutely beautiful for a swim, but maybe give the beach a miss tonight with the drizzle hanging around. The bottom line for Sydney, cloudy skies, patchy light drizzle, 19 to 20 degrees, light winds, and no severe weather warnings in place for the metro area. Now, before I get to Melbourne, the city with the best evening weather in the entire country tonight, I will reveal it in about 2 minutes. I guarantee it will shock at least half of you. Keep watching Melbourne, the city that gives you 4 seasons in one day, and tonight it is doing it again. A wall of grey cloud has been sitting over the city all day. No sunshine, no breaks. And here is the kicker. The top temperature today only reached 21 degrees. In the middle of summer. That is 4 degrees below the February average. A seriously cool summer day by any standard. Tonight, temperatures drop further to 18 to 19 degrees. You will want a jacket. The chance of rain is 25%, which does not sound like much, but this is Melbourne. Bright sunshine at 3 o'clock, absolutely bucketing down by 4. That 25% basically means it could rain at any moment. Fascinating statistic though, Melbourne only averages 3 rain days in the entire month of February. 3, way less than Sydney. But when Melbourne does get rain, it comes out of nowhere and hits hard for short bursts. So if it does come tonight, expect a decent downpour that clears off quickly. Southerly winds at 22 kilometres per hour are pushing up from Bass Strait, that stretch of water between the mainland and Tasmania, bringing cooler, moister air with them. That is exactly why Melbourne is feeling so fresh tonight. No thick fog, no extreme weather events on the cards, just a standard Melbourne evening when a southerly change pushes through. Visibility is good across the city. Perfect conditions for a flat white at one of those legendary laneway cafes or dinner somewhere around South Bank. Right, now I promised you the city with the best weather tonight. It is Perth. And it is not even close. But do not skip ahead. What I'm about to tell you involves a number so extreme it will completely change how you think about Australian weather. Brisbane first. Queensland's capital is cooking tonight. 31 degrees today, proper Queensland summer heat. Hot, sticky, absolutely dripping with humidity. Evening temperatures will only drop to 22 to 23 degrees. But 22 degrees in Brisbane feels completely different to 22 in Melbourne. In Brisbane, you will still be sweating, still reaching for the fan, still feeling like a warm, wet blanket is wrapped around you. The chance of rain is actually only 20%, which is lower than both Sydney and Melbourne. And that is a genuine surprise because February is typically Brisbane's wettest month of the entire year. On average, Brisbane cops about 172 millimetres of rain in February alone, spread across more than 20 rain days. That is basically rain every single day of the month. So the fact that tonight's rain chance is only 20% is actually a pleasant little bonus for anyone in southeast Queensland. But here is the twist. When it does rain in Brisbane in February, it comes as massive tropical thunderstorms, explosive downpours with crashing thunder and spectacular lightning that dump an absolute truckload of water in 30 minutes and vanish just as fast. If a storm fires up, it will hit hard. Sea surface temperatures off Brisbane are 27 degrees, the warmest of the year, beautiful for a night swim. But heads up, this is box jellyfish season in Queensland waters. Stick to the stinger nets. Now Perth. This is where it gets extraordinary. 31 degrees today, matching Brisbane exactly, but Perth's heat is dry heat, almost zero humidity. While Brisbane at 31 feels suffocating, Perth at 31 feels like a warm hug. Evening temperatures ease to 20 to 22 degrees with low humidity. Absolutely beautiful. Now here is the number I promised. Perth's average rainfall for the entire month of February is 9 millimetres. 9 for the whole month. Brisbane gets 172. That means Brisbane gets 19 times more rain than Perth in February. Same country, same month, completely different planets. Rain in Perth tonight is about as likely as snow in Darwin. The clouds are high and thin, the air is dry and conditions are absolutely perfect for getting outside. And then there is the Fremantle Doctor. If you are not from Perth, you might not know this one. Every summer afternoon and evening, this beautiful cool sea breeze rolls in off the Indian Ocean and takes the edge right off the daytime heat. It is blowing lightly from the southwest tonight, and it is one of the things that makes Perth such a brilliant city to live in during summer. If you are in Perth tonight, seriously, get outside. Fish and chips down in Fremantle, a wander along the Swan River, watching the last light fade from Cottesloe Beach. You have got the best weather in the country tonight. Do not waste it. Adelaide. Now let us head to South Australia's capital, nestled between Perth and Melbourne on the southern coast. February in Adelaide is usually stinking hot and bone dry. Daytime temperatures regularly smash through 35 degrees and multi-day heat waves are a regular occurrence. Today was a touch kinder though, with the mercury sitting at around 28 to 30 degrees. Still warm, but not the scorcher it can be. Tonight, temperatures will drop to a comfortable 18 to 20 degrees. Humidity is low, the air is dry and crisp, and the sky should be mostly clear, with perhaps a few wispy clouds about. The chance of rain is virtually zero. Average February rainfall in Adelaide is only about 18 millimetres across roughly 6 days, a fraction of what Sydney or Brisbane get. Winds are light from the west to southwest, carrying a touch of cool air in from Gulf St Vincent. No weather warnings of any kind for the Adelaide region tonight. A picture-perfect summer evening in Australia's wine capital, ideal for outdoor dining or heading out to the Barossa for a late evening, Canberra. Now here is where things get really interesting, and this is the twist I have been holding back. Canberra's temperature swing tonight is going to be one of the most dramatic of any capital city in the country. During the day today, the nation's capital was properly hot, up around 30 to 32 degrees. But once the sun goes down, and that happens at about 7:42 in the evening Australian Eastern Daylight Time, the temperature drops like a stone. By 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, you could be looking at just 16 to 18 degrees. That is a drop of 14 to 15 degrees in roughly 3 hours. No other capital city in Australia experiences that kind of dramatic swing on a regular basis. It is the continental climate at work. Canberra is tucked inland, no ocean nearby to hold the warmth, so once the sun disappears, the heat goes with it. Clear skies over Canberra tonight, which is brilliant news for stargazing. That is one of the genuine perks of living in a capital city with far less light pollution than Sydney or Melbourne. Rain chance is low and the air is dry, but that massive temperature drop means you absolutely must bring a jacket if you are heading out tonight. It might have been 32 and roasting this afternoon, but by 9 o'clock you will be wishing you had something warmer on. Canberra nights in February catch people out every single year. Do not let it catch you. Now, do not skip this next part. If you are in Darwin or anywhere across the top end, what I am about to tell you could affect your safety tonight. Darwin, a completely different world to everywhere else I have just talked about. Up here, there are no 4 seasons, just 2, the dry and the wet. And February, folks, is peak wet season, peak. Here is the number that puts it all in perspective. The overnight minimum temperature in Darwin tonight will not drop below 25 degrees. Let that sink in for a moment. Darwin's overnight low is higher than Melbourne's daytime high today. Higher. Combine that with humidity levels hitting 80 to 90%, and spending the evening in Darwin is basically like sitting inside a sauna that someone forgot to turn off. The daytime temperature reached 36 degrees and the air is so thick with moisture you can practically swim through it. Now here is where timing becomes critical. Tropical thunderstorms typically fire up between 3 and 5 in the afternoon and build through the evening, peaking between 6 and 9 o'clock. These storms are the real deal. Crashing thunder, spectacular lightning, howling gusts and torrential rain. Darwin can cop 30 to 50 millimetres in a single hour. The chance of storms tonight is very high. Keep your umbrella close and your phone charged for Bureau of Meteorology alerts. February is also cyclone season across northern Australia. No specific cyclone threat tonight, but always check bom.gov.au. Bookmark it. All right, the full wrap-up. Your complete city-by-city breakdown for tonight, Monday the 9th of February 2026. Sydney, 19 to 20 degrees, cloudy, patchy drizzle, 50% chance of rain, light winds. Melbourne, 18 to 19 degrees, overcast, possible showers, 25% chance of rain, moderate southerlies. Brisbane, 22 to 23 degrees, mostly cloudy, hot and muggy, 20% chance of rain, but any storms could be heavy. Perth, 20 to 22 degrees, high thin cloud, virtually no rain, lovely sea breeze. Best weather in the country, Adelaide, 18 to 20 degrees, mostly clear, no rain, light winds. Canberra, 16 to 18 degrees, clear skies, no rain. Bring a jumper. Darwin, 25 to 27 degrees, extremely hot and humid, high chance of tropical thunderstorms. Storms peak between 6 and 9 in the evening. Hobart, 12 to 14 degrees, mostly fine, cool and fresh, low rain chance, light winds. Sea surface temperatures around Tasmania are sitting at just 15 to 17 degrees, considerably colder than Queensland or New South Wales, so if you are thinking about a dip, you had better be brave. Perfect evening for dinner on the waterfront at Salamanca or a twilight walk along the Derwent River. The big picture across Australia tonight, the centre of the continent is still baking under intense heat, with temperatures regularly hitting 32 to 41 degrees. The top end is right at the peak of the tropical wet season. The southern capitals of Melbourne, Adelaide and Hobart are enjoying the most pleasant and settled conditions. And the east coast cities of Sydney and Brisbane are getting that classic Australian summer pattern of half sun, half rain. If you are travelling around Australia right now, the south is your best bet for comfortable temperatures and beautiful evenings. If you are heading north, always be prepared for sudden tropical downpours. Now remember what I said at the start. Drop a comment telling me where you are. Your city, your town, even your suburb. I will come back and give you a detailed local forecast tailored just for your area. And if this helped you plan your evening or your week, share it with someone you know who needs to see it. One more thing before you go. Tomorrow's forecast is shaping up to be very different from today. There is a weather system moving in that could change the picture dramatically for at least 3 capital cities by Wednesday. I am going to break down exactly which cities are affected, when the change arrives, and what you need to do to prepare. You will not want to miss that one. Make sure you are here for it. For the latest and most accurate information, always check the Bureau of Meteorology at bom.gov.au. Stay safe out there wherever you are across this beautiful country. I will see you in